Hello YouTubers, this is me again, and this is episode number 7 in the James Bond series. The movie is Diamonds Are Forever. Released December 17th, 1971. Directed by Guy Hamilton. And to get it out of the way, this movie made $116 million or something like that. Starred James Bond as Sean Connery, Jill St. John as Tiffany Case, Charles Gray as Blofeld, Lana Wood as Plenty O'Toole, Bruce Colbert as Saxby, Putter Smith as Mr. Kidd, Bruce Glover as Mr. Wint. Now for this movie, it comes off the heels of what some would either call a good Bond movie, or as some have in the past called On Her Majesty's Secret Service a very bad James Bond movie. I'm in the part where I think it's a very good movie, plot-wise. It really worked. I think just directing and some of the scenes let the movie down, but in a whole it was a pretty good movie. The plot to this one is Bond is sent to the U.S. to investigate diamond smuggling while hunting down Ernest Starvo Blofeld, who changed his looks through plastic surgery. Now, scenes from this, at the beginning it starts off with Bond going on a killing rampage. And it sort of reintroduced Sean Connery's James Bond after George Lazenby just didn't hit the mark with it, but I think with this one he did. Or that Sean Connery did. And after the opening scene and all that, it shows Bond, what he thinks kills Ernest Blofeld, which we all know later in the movie he didn't. Another thing about this, that breaks into the Eon video, and one thing is that the lady who sung the song for Goldfinger sung this song as well. So, yeah. Then the introduction of Mr. Wint, Mr. Kidd. They blow up the plane and explain the diamond smuggling ring. Bond meets Tiffany Case. Bond kills who Bond, when he meets Tiffany Case, he says he's Frank's and all that. And Frank shows up and he kills him. Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint knock out Bond and try to burn him alive in a casket, which was a very good scene. Then you get... This is a good scene. Plenty O'Toole, who is a girl that Bond met at a table or something in Vegas and all that. She is invited up to his room, and there's these guys there, and one guy takes her, just throws her out the window, and it's like... And he... How do I put this? He throws her out the window. She's going, wah! And then she lands in a pool. And Bond's like, well, at least there was a pool at the bottom. And the guy's like, there's a pool down there? Sort of like some badass thing. But then you get circus scenes. Ladies found dead tied to the bottom of a pool, which was pretty cool how they do that. And once again, another Ford vehicle, a Mustang in this one. Pretty good. Bond steals a moon buggy, a chase ensues, and an ATV. Then he steals an ATV where Tiffany Case comes and finds him and all that, and rescues him. And then once he escaped, it's like the cops are now after James Bond, and there's this great police chase through the downtown strip of Vegas, through the Vegas Strip or whatever, and it was a great scene, great suspense to it and everything, and it was good. Then you have Tiffany Case naked in furs in bed and all that. Then you had Bond scaling the casino, which for that time was quite a feat. Like, it made Bond look like a true badass. But Bond finds out Blofeld is behind this, and he masks Mr. White's voice with the talk box, which At the time, I don't think there's too many talk boxes. I know in music they use talk boxes every now and then, but in this, like, it just made Blofeld seem like this sneaky guy. Then you get a great line in this movie, I just had to say it, where Blofeld's like, "You had the right idea, Mr. Bond, but wrong pussy." And it shows once again Blofeld getting the upper hand on James Bond. Which, after seeing Skyfall, I think there has to be more of this. Villains that get the upper hand on James Bond a lot and a lot and a lot, and it's sort of like building up suspense to the end of the movie where you're like, finally Bond gets it. But Bond is buried in a pipeline but escapes near death. Bond fights two girls who kick Bond's ass, but Bond still wins. Bond meets Willard White. Blofeld captures Tiffany. Blofeld blows up nuclear sub and Chinese nukes. Blofeld explains his plot, the assault on Blofeld's base. Bond fights Blofeld, but here's the thing about how they ended this whole Blofeld, is it never showed Blofeld dead. So I'd really, really wish that for the next Bond movie, because they said James Bond will return after Skyfall, can they please bring back a badass character like Ernest Blofeld, please? That's the one thing I want. Just bring back Blofeld, because I think the series could really use a badass character that's always gotten the upper hand on James Bond, and Bond's never quite killed him. So, yeah. Bond, at the end, then he gets to this point where they're on the cruise ship, Tiffany Case and James Bond and all that, and Mr. Kid and Mr. Winter there, and one of them lights like a shish kebab. There's a bomb on one, and then he lights like the shish kebab thing on fire, and he's chasing Bond and all this, and Bond gets him on fire. Falls off the boat, end of movie. It is what it is. Now, if I had to give this a rating, I don't know. Most of this is because I've read the book, Diamonds Are Forever. And personally, I think this is one movie where Diamonds Are Forever could have really, if they would have taken some stuff from the book and all that, it could have been a whole lot better than this. But no, I think for me right now, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a solid B-. Personal opinion and all that. But yeah, so that is my review of James Bond's 1971 film number 7 in the series, not 8, 7, of Diamonds Are Forever. This is Music Core.